This is how I was semi-paralyzed in 2024. I want to share this quick story with you guys as I feel like mentally I've just been stuck. There's a barrier that I need to push through. So let's start from the beginning. 2024 just started. I had finished my first bodybuilding competition. Long time due. Finally did it. I was like, let me take a few weeks off because I have a big sweet tooth. I was enjoying some baklava, kunafa. I love me some bueno. I was just going ham and enjoying whatever I wanted to eat just for a little bit. Then I was like, it's time to get back on the grind. As I was going back into the grind, an emergency happened. There was a day I went to HEB where I'm walking with the cart and I keep getting out of breath. I have to wait, stand for a little bit, catch my breath, which feels like I'm not really getting all my oxygen in. Like, what the heck is happening? It feels like I'm having a high intensity workout. Literally low-key starting to see stars like I'm about to pass out. Later that week, as an emergency, I had to run to the dentist. Boom, I caught sepsis. Out of everything, I caught sepsis. What did happen is an emergency tooth extraction because a past root canal, one of the nerves was still infected, been infected. So yeah, seems like I almost caught sepsis due to a past procedure not done well. As soon as they finished that, removing my tooth, they said I needed a root canal on the left side. About a month to two, I could barely eat or something because one, ain't nobody trying to eat when your mouth feels uncomfortable. And when you can, majority of things you can eat is soups and shit. I trained, but my diet was shit because I couldn't really eat anything. And when I could eat something, it was just soup. Thankfully, I did not die from sepsis. So now 2 months in, I'm healed, mouth is fine, body's fine, I'm training again, I can hop back on the diet. I'm like, fell down, the only way is up. Great. Guess what? As soon as literally not even a week after, I'm starting to eat normal food again. Decided to go ice skating with my fiance and her family. Right before we were gonna leave the ice rink, my brother-in-law were like, let's race. At my peak momentum, my foot slips in a little, knee goes in, bent up and everything, and I go straight into the ice while my knee's bent. Me falling there, bro, my leg hurt so bad. It felt like I broke it or something. I just wanted to lay there, but dude, anxiety hits so bad. I look around, there's so many people there. I'm like, hell no, I'm not about to look like that. Literally get on one foot and I'm limping. Mind you, I'm still in the ice skating rink. So I'm limping, trying to skate myself back out. I'm sometimes falling, literally. Once I get to the wall, I use the wall as much as I can and get out and sit down. I'm like, bro, that's straight up adrenaline rush and anxiety because there's no way after I could even move. That leg wouldn't even bend anymore. It wouldn't bend, bro. Imagine how using the restroom was horrible. Turns out I fucked up a bunch of ligaments. On top of that, my kneecap came off. Thankfully, the doctor said my ligaments and stuff like that, yes, it was bad, but they'll get back together. The kneecap, yes, it's really bad, but over time it will slowly come back where it should be. It's gonna take a good 5 to 6 months. Other than that, bro, for 6 months I couldn't put pressure on my knee or bend it. By bend, I mean like I couldn't bend it more than this. So I could do this, but I could never come here. I could do this, but I could never come here. Dude, I was like, okay, I guess this is rock bottom. And again, from rock bottom, I was trying to have that mindset. The only way up is up. There's nothing lower. You can't go lower. 5, 6 months later, literally right when my knee got healed, I was able to put pressure on the floor with my knee, bending properly and everything. After so many months of not feeling the stimulation in my legs, I went to go hit leg day. I was like, finally I get to hit leg day. We go hit legs, and then right after we plan to go play pickleball. This is where it all goes downhill. And this whole year I've been training my core. If you have a messed up spine, especially in the lumbar area, and you don't train your core, that's bad, bro. If you don't, there's no support there. You shouldn't be lifting weights or nothing like that. You can easily get paralyzed. We go play pickleball, and guess what happens in pickleball? Before I tell you what happened, here's a quick side story so it makes sense. Long story short, when I was 17, totaled a car. My front car got squished all the way in. Never went to check my spine, my body, or anything. 6 months I was gonna see my family in Switzerland again. So I was like, let me train as hard as I can, showing the best physique as they haven't seen me for a while. Turns out I had herniated discs and bulged discs. And throughout my training, when I'm pressing, deadlifting, squatting, all that weight compressing my spine more, was causing a worse and worse herniated discs, to the point where I ended up having nerve damage down my left leg, couldn't bend, nothing. I literally went through 8 doctors, 6 of them being orthopedics or whatever, surgeons. Literally, all of them were like, this is worse than a 50, 60-year-old. How are you 17 with this much damage in your spine? You need to get surgery immediately. And it makes sense, bro. I was 20 out of 10 in pain. Broke my scale pain. Laying down, sitting, I couldn't sit. Walking, I couldn't walk. I was in pain all the time. You can think of the most comfortable position, even laying on your back, and I was in enormous pain because it's my spine pinching my nerves. I went to physical therapy even though I was being go surgery by so many doctors until we found one who like, hey bro, can you just prescribe us physical therapy and let's try that first? And he's known for that. So like most of them were like surgery. I'm like, bro. Luckily, I had a OG bodybuilder who was my physical therapist. He showed me stretches and exercises that can help me fix imbalances and loosen up my nerve pain so I don't feel knives stabbing me in my legs and all that. So long story short, again, I know it's a really long story, so I'm trying to keep it as short as I can. Getting towards the end, I did stretches and stuff, started doing it myself. A year or two later, I was able to touch the ground again. Cool, great. 3-4 years later is when I competed, and then all this happened. Okay, we're all caught up. Now here's where I fucked up. I went to go play pickleball and even lift weights, knowing that it's been 6 months where I haven't been able to do much. This is my fault for not training my core again and just doing ridiculous movements. I'm very competitive and I like playing pickleball. I did one wrong, not even wrong, I did one strong twist and hit the ball, but due to that twist, that was my wrong move. Right there and there, just like anime, the screen cracked and I was on the floor. I was in so much pain. I caused an anterior tilt and tilt in my hips again because my spine is not normal. Now this is the worst part, bro. Like, this is literally worse than rock bottom. I literally got here. I was semi-paralyzed. Literally for a month, I couldn't get up. I was just laying down. And even if you can think of the most comfortable position, in that position, I was in pain, feeling nonstop pain. What I mean by that is I was laying down, but my spine is doing this inside, and there's nerves literally getting pinched again. I'm in pain no matter what. There's no comfortable position. My insides are still getting like, this is the nerve, this is the disc, and it's still, with that being said, I'm in enormous pain no matter what. I could not get up whatsoever. The only thing we could do is literally icy hot, non-icy hot on my lower back and my hamstrings. And then I would do whatever I could, dude. It was impossible to do even stretches, but I would do 0.01% of them as much as I could. A month in, barely, I was able to stand, but only 30 minutes at a time. And even that would be painful. A month and a half in, I could start standing up, but in 30-minute intervals, meaning like I would get up, 30 minutes stand, I would still be in pain. My walking would be really tight. I couldn't take big steps. And guess what? After 30 minutes, I would have to lay down again for a good minute because I would be in so much pain. But I pushed it, bro. I continued my stretches. Second month in, I would try to lengthen how long I would stand as much as I could without feeling enormous pain. And when I did, I would go back to my stretches. Bro, we had like friends come over and stuff like that. I had bed in the living room, a floor bed, because I needed to lay down and hang and still be in pain. The only thing that was pushing me forward is I've been here, maybe not as bad, but I've been here and I've recovered. I know it's possible. I don't need to go to a doctor and be like, give me surgery. But guess what? I went to the doctor because you know how they always need something that's wrong with you for you to have insurance cover an MRI and all that. So I had something wrong with me. I went to the doctor. Another doctor that hadn't seen my spine as bad got an MRI and he was like, you need to go surgery. This is really bad. What do you mean? No. I'm like, dude. I just really needed the information. I do appreciate everything you're saying, but I've been here before, maybe not as worse, and I know I can get back on my 2 feet with no pain, being able to touch the ground again, not feeling tilted by doing these simple things. These simple things were basically stretches I did, and literally some of them, it didn't even look like stretches because I was so tight. I would just hold certain positions. My hamstring stretches, you know, where we pull from the back of the leg, but I could barely even pull it, so I would do it step by step. Just hold it at wherever range I could pull it. Once I could figure it out, I got my knee down and did the hamstring stretches. But even that, I could barely extend the leg. I did it step by step. And guess what? A month in, nothing really much happened. Nothing. I barely even was able to get range. And from there, I'm telling you, the second month in, finally standing for longer than 30 minutes, being able to stand for my shifts and stuff like that, but a lot of pressure in my lower back. This thing isn't quick, bro. I stayed consistent by fixing my imbalances, not training like a strength lifter, bodybuilder, or rehab. Literally, bro, I hit the lowest point below rock bottom. I was like, come on. And I still was trying my best to have that mindset of there's nothing but going up from here. Because what else am I going to do? Crawl in and just give up? Nah. So I did the smallest stretches. Bro, I would literally be crying sometimes during these stretches. And bro, if you don't believe I was semi-paralyzed, I'm telling you, I couldn't even activate my glutes to pick up and do a hip thrust. I had to stay on the floor laying. They're impossible to do when your spine is broken. If you help me get up and stand, I could probably stand, but in so much pain, I wouldn't like it would be wrong to do so. I had to literally teach my nerves, my neurons to learn how to activate again and properly as well. So there were certain exercises I did, certain stretches I did, step by step and progressively overloading, just like anything else, but in a rehab scenario. And 3, 4 months in, literally, I was finally able to get back on roll. So yeah, bro, 2024, the entire year was something. Health problem, knee injury, freaking being paralyzed. I was barely able to gain control of my body and touch the ground again like this, like February of this year. And from there, I could start training again to build muscle again, focus on my diet a bit more. Because, dude, it's hard to focus on your diet while everything else is to shit that you can't even control. You know what I'm saying? Yes, diet does the most, but I couldn't do this shit. And it's just mentally, it's a lot, you know? Now, what is it? August? It's been 3, 4 months of training back to it, but I don't feel like I'm putting as much output. And this happened before when I initially got this injury, back when I was 17. And this is another time where I'm going through it again. I know it's part of going through an injury. I'm trying to speed this process up, and we need to start tackling the gym again, tackling the food again. So hopefully this helps me get this off my chest, continue pursuing my passion. Now, dead ass, bro, nothing but up. I got my functionality back. I can touch the ground again. I'm sitting right now, no pain. I'll be walking around. I can stand for a long period of time. I'm fine, but I'm telling you, my disc is that bad to the point where even my current doctor was like, you should get surgery. And I was trying to tell him, bro, there's ways to recover before surgery. You gotta be willing to put in the work. That's all I gotta say. There's a lot of pain in this that you gotta push through. I wanna end this that I'm looking forward to not being stuck in this anymore. And two, in the next few months, I'm gonna try to focus on pushing out videos over spinal injury and certain stretches and exercises you can do to recover from that. I know how painful it can be, and I know how uncomfortable it can be day to day living your life. And I honestly don't wish this pain to anyone. Nobody should have spinal issues with nerve damage or either. That being said, honestly, instead of taking the surgery choice or the injection or every 3 months going to a chiropractor, I want to be able to provide this information that I don't even see doctors sharing much. Could possibly help you with your major problem. And that's my goal. See you guys in the next video.